the lock icon is definitely going to change your life. So that's something that you need to keep a note on it. So basically there are two basic protocols. We have HTTP, which is the hypertext transfer protocol, and we have HTTPS, which is the hypertext transfer protocol secure. The S here is stands for secure. So basically the HTTPS is secure than HTTP. So I'm not going to go deep into theoretical content. I would like to show you the practical contents. So for that, I'm just going to open the browser here. Okay, so this is our browser, right? So basically, let me open it again. So yeah, this is the browser. So basically, when you search for google.com, you will be able to see you are now in the google.com, right? So are you safer, like when I'm searching for example Instagram? So when I go to the Instagram login page, so let it load. Here you can see we have an option to enter the phone number or username on email and the password itself. So are you safe? Do you think once you enter your credentials here and there, so is it safely going through the internet, or is anybody sniffing your traffic? So yeah, that's what I'm going to demonstrate in this video. So basically, you can see there is two protocols that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, which is HTTP, which is the hypertext transfer protocol, and HTTPS, which is the hypertext transfer protocol secure, which is a secure version of HTTP. Okay, so we have an website. For the sake of the demonstration, I'm just going to the vulnerweb.com. So let me close the rest of things. And in the vulnerweb.com, this is basically an HTTP website, which is kind of not secure. Why? Yes, you can see that the connection is not secure. Your connection to this site is not private. Information you submit could be viewed by others, like passwords, messages, credit cards, etc. So this is basically an HTTP website. You can see that this is an HTTP URL, right? So whatever you are entering in the HTTP is not safe. The safer version of HTTP is HTTPS, which is a secure version of HTTP, right? So how it is happening? When I go to the more information, you can see we have some details about the website, the owner, and the verified by was not specified, and the website is www.oneweb.com, and the owner, this website does not supply ownership information. And these are the things that you are able to see from these particular website. So, and here you can see there's an undo in the lock icon. That just means that this is not secure. How? So that's I will show you right now using a Wireshark, which is a packet capture tool. I'm just launching the Wireshark tool, the Wireshark, the network analyzer. And in the Ethernet 0, I'm just double clicking and sniffing my traffic. So this is how the packets are transmitted over the internet. So now I'm just moving to the testphp.vulnerweb.com here, and let it load. And here I'm just going to the sign up option. Here I have an option to enter the username and the password. So I'm just entering the username as ASDF and the password as QWERTY1234. Okay, so that is what I entered there. Once I click login, it was not logged in, right? So we can see that please use the username test and the password test. So that's already specified here. Once I enter test as the username and test as the password and click login, I was able to log in, right? So as I mentioned before, this is not a secure site which is running in HTTP, right? So what happened here is I just entered wrong credentials, right? I also entered the right credentials and able to access to this website using the username and password as test. Now we can see logout test. So we are logged in as test, right? So all those traffics are sniffing or capturing by the Wireshark tool. These are the traffics that is happening in the network. So assume that an hacker is sniffing your traffic, which is kind of passive assessment. You don't even know that somebody is using Wireshark or somebody is using packet analyzer tools. You are just using your internet. You're not going to know that somebody is using somebody is sniffing your traffic like this. So let me stop that, and I just stopped the sniffing, like the packet capturing. So now I'm just searching for HTTP here. Here you can see there's a lot of HTTP things are there. I can see a post request, right? So I'm just right clicking here and clicking follow to HTTP stream. And now I'm just going to search for the username. Here in the find option, I have an option to search. I'm just entering username. And here it is. You can see that the username that we entered is ASDF, right? So that's there, guys. Look at it, look at it. I don't know if you're able to see this or not, but you can just zoom that. If you're using a phone, you can just zoom this video. You can see that uname is ASDF, which is what we entered, the wrong credentials, right? And the password is QWERTY1234, right? So whatever you are entering in an unsecured website can be sniffed by an attacker so easily, and they can read the contents as plain text, right? So that's something that you need to know. Basically, these are the plain text contents. Even if you enter the right or wrong credentials, it can still be sniffed. This is the wrong credentials that we entered, right? So, and we do have the right credentials that we enter. Let me use HTTP again, and we have another post request here. Just opening the follow and HTTP stream, and here I'm just again searching for the username, and here it is. This is basically what we searched before. Let me search it again, and here it is. You can see the username is test and the password is test, and you can see the request was successful 200, okay, which is a success code, which means that the user was able to log in with the username and password as test. So before this happens, like you can see the ASDF and QWERTY, you can see 302, the site is redirected to something else, and it's not okay. And you can see you must log in is what is shown there. So this pretty much means that the credentials ASDF and QWERTY1234 was wrong, and that's what it is saying, you must log in, right? So the test and the test credentials was right, so that's what you will be able to see, it's 200, okay, right? So that's how an attacker can sniff your traffic when you're using an unencrypted protocols like HTTP or FTP, etc. So let us try to use the HTTPS protocol with the Wireshark capture on. So let me restart the Wireshark capture. I'm just restarting that. So the capture was started again. So here it is. Here is the capture started again. So now what I'm going to do is to go in for the Instagram.com. Okay. So let's move on to the Instagram.com. Like this is our Instagram. And you can see we have to enter the username or the phone number or email here. I'm just entering some wrong credentials, because if it is sniffable, then what does it means that it is also there in the plain text format in the Wireshark also, right? So even if you enter wrong credentials or right credentials, if it is sniffable, then it should capture by the packet analyzer tools like Wireshark. So let's enter some password like ASDF GHJKL. Right. So now I'm just clicking login. So as you know, this was incorrect. So and let me open the Wireshark packet capture and just stopping this. And now what I'm going to do is basically this is HTTPS, right? So basically HTTP is something that is running on by default by port 80, but HTTPS is basically running on port 443. You can see there's a lock icon here, right? Because this is HTTPS, right? So that means you can see this connection was secure, and it is also verified by DigiCert INC. We can just click the more information, and you will be able to see a certificate here. For every HTTPS there is a certificate. For HTTP there will be no certificate. For HTTPS to run, then it should have a certificate, and we can see some of the information from this certificate, like the country, like the state or locality, and the common name, etc. There's a lot of information from this particular certificate that is kind of publicly accessible, right? Okay, so this is basically running on HTTPS. That's why it is secure with the lock icon. If lock icon has an red slash, then it means that it's not secure. You can see every secure website like HTTPS has a certificate, and it will be verified by an authority, validation authority maybe. Though this is verified by DigiCert INC, right? So we can search for DigiCert INC, and you will be able to learn more about it. This is basically a TLS SSL certificate authority, leader in digital trust. Okay, this DigiCert is verified by Instagram, right? Instagram is verified that. So you can see a certificate and some other informations, like we can see the permissions, media, general informations, and the security, where you will be able to see the certificate. Using the Firefox browser, you will be able to get these kinds of information. Okay, so why HTTPS is secure? So whatever you are entering inside the HTTP can be viewed in the Wireshark packet capture. So what we entered before is HTTP, right? But this is HTTPS, right? So once I enter that, there is nothing. There is nothing is going to come, because it you can see there is two things that I need to tell to you. The default port of HTTP, which is port 80. Okay, and the default port of HTTPS is the 443. So we are going to analyze the port number. Here I'm just searching for TCP.port equal to 443, pressing enter. Here it is. So these are some of the HTTPS traffics. So we can just pretty much read this. You can see the client says hello, and it's basically google.com. So we just visited google.com. That is visible here. And the protocol here is like TLS version 1.3, and TCP, TLS are the protocols here, right? That's what HTTPS means here. The protocol should be TLS or TCP, TLS usually 1.3. So in previous scenario, or the protocol will be HTTP only, but here in terms of HTTPS, it will be TLS. Okay, so you can see we were able to find one information which is about google.com. You can just search like control F, and you can just search for Instagram to see if we were able to get any Instagram information. I'm just changing this to string and clicking find. Here it is. You can see the client says hello to the instagram.com, right? www.instagram.com. It is still visible in the Wireshark, but what matters is the application data, right? So this is basically the application data. So I'm just moving to the follow and moving to TCP stream. So this is how the data looks like. We can see the domain, the name, right? The instagram.com. But what are the data that we entered there? Because this connection HTTPS secure, that means that it is not transferring the data as plain text as HTTP. So this is HTTPS, which will encrypt the data, and the data is not transferring as plain text. So we can see the application data, and this is the encrypted application data, and you can see this is kind of like, it's like an hashed version, which you won't be able to understand like HTTP, which stores or goes the data through the internet as plain text, while HTTPS transfers to the internet as an encrypted text, so that anyone sniffing the traffic cannot be able to read those data. So that's why it is highly recommended to use HTTPS over HTTP. Most of the websites till now we are using a HTTPS, but still in some scenarios people want to use some website, but they don't care about what is there. Is it a lock icon in the web browser? Is there any lock icon? Nobody notices. So that's the reason why I created this video. Sometimes in some scenarios some people will go to various websites and entering their credentials. Like I also found that there is a website called Boya. So in previous, I think I just found HTTP on a website. I don't remember the name of the website, but here it's now secure, but I don't remember the name of the website that I visited previously. So in that scenario, I think it may be some kind of boy or something like that. So in that scenario, what happens is I visited the website, and it says that it is not verified, because I'm just someone who are not into this field at that time. I just don't know about the security at that time. At that time, I just need to buy a mic. Right, so I visited the official website of that particular mic. I don't remember the website. So in that website, it says that it's not secure, but I just want to check out the mic. It has payment or any other informations available. I don't know if it is a fake website or not, but I don't care at that time. So what I do here is I just love the mic that I would like to buy. And actually the site was not secure at that time. And I just go to the buying checkout page, and I was able to find that whatever credentials that you are entering in the website will get which is not secure, is what is written there. At that time, I just moved back and I just don't use that particular website. Like that, in the future, or maybe today or tomorrow, anytime you may want something, but if you are going to a website that is running on HTTP, then don't never ever give any of the details, like payment details or credit card details or any of the details into that particular website, because it is running on HTTP. All your data can be sniffed or can be leaked. So make sure to check before you enter your credentials into a particular website. Make sure to check if there is a lock icon. Even with the lock icon, if the link is a phishing link, then you should be aware of that too much, right? So you can just watch the phishing awareness videos for further protecting yourself from phishing attacks. But for the purpose of this video, we are just talking about HTTP or HTTPS, right? So you have to look for the HTTPS websites with the lock icon in it. If you are visiting an HTTP website, then you will be able to see there will be no lock icon, and you will be able to see something called not secure. In the Firefox browser, you are seeing like this, but in some other browser, you will be able to see in a different way. Like, let us visit. This is kind of a Chrome browser, Chromium. So let me try to visit an HTTP website in this particular browser. Let me reload that. You can see this has an eye icon, which nobody gonna notice, right? They just give their credentials. But in Firefox, you can see it's written as not secure, which is somebody notices. But here, nobody gonna notices that. Only the rare peoples will go on to notice that. So once you click that, then only you will be able to see some information that this site is not secure. So it depends upon which browser are you using. Make sure you are running an HTTP browser, HTTP website or HTTPS website. So that's something that you need to keep in mind before entering your credentials into a particular website. Okay, so yeah, that's all about this video, guys. I hope you will be able to understand a lot from this video. And guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.